Welcome back to the TDE Pod. Today we got Stefan.
Hello.
And Dan.
Hello.
Dan making his first appearance on the pod. What's up, gentlemen? How we feeling?
Another week of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, another interesting week of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I guess before we get into our big topics here, what was Yu-Gi-Oh like for you this week?
Well, we recorded a little bit. I didn't go to locals this week, but we
Okay.
recorded against you and me playing the Vanquish Soul and Dragon Tail.
Yeah.
And I finally was able to beat Dragon Tail.
Yeah.
So I felt very confident in myself finally.
That'll be on the channel soon, hopefully, when I get around to editing. Stefan, what about you?
Went another week of 2 and 3 at locals. Same build, Yummy Ghoul. And I drew the one of field spell another 5 times in my hands. So the curse continues.
The curse continues. Oh, we used to have a way to get rid of your curse. What was it?
We had Daniel touch the deck.
Yeah. Oh, Dan wasn't at locals, so
I need you to cleanse the card. I already put it in a new sleeve, so we'll see if that helps.
there you go. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, especially when it's a common or like low rarity card, you just switch it out. This one has failed me.
Yeah.
The vibes are wrong. Okay, but we got some big things that have happened over the past weekend. Oh, I guess my week in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
Do we have a Mat CS this week?
No, we did not.
No. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. But played locals Friday. Mm-hmm. I absolutely got annihilated. I went 1 and 3, and it was soul crushing. No. But it was a wake up call. Because like my previous build, I got to change something. Mm-hmm. So it was similar to the list I played against you in the videos that come out soon. But for Sunday locals, it's the inverse.
Yes.
I went X1, 4 wins, and I just tweaked a few of the ratios, and it paid off. I played against a lot of weird stuff though, so we'll have to keep testing. But my first round, oh my gosh, dude. Stun with the new time rules. Like, I was playing against he's a bit of a legend at our locals. I'll tell you off camera who it was, but okay. I was like, remember you had an instance about a month ago, maybe?
Is it the same guy?
No, different guy.
Okay.
It was worse somehow.
Oh God. Okay.
Maybe not, but it was essentially he was playing a bunch of board breakers. Yes. So, I set up my board. He goes Dark Ruler. I negated it. Then he went evenly matched. I activated what I could, took the L. And then he summons Beautiful Princess. So I'm like, what the fuck deck is this?
Yeah.
He goes Beautiful into left-hand shark, right-hand shark, overlays, makes Crooked Cook.
Okay.
Now it can't be destroyed by battle, and it's unaffected.
Yeah.
So we drew and passed 20 turns straight. And I had to look across and go, how many cards are left in your deck? And he counted them all one by one. 17. I said, I have 11. And so I was like, okay, let's go to game 2.
Yeah.
Because I did not have an out for Crooked Cook that couldn't be destroyed by battle.
Yeah.
So then games 2 and 3, I sided in Kaijus and didn't need him. I just cooked him. He didn't draw what he needed to draw. But I had a moment that you had where I was about to pack up my shit and go. But it was the first round of the locals. And I was like, you know what? Nah. This is not how it's starting for me. Yeah. I have to overcome this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I locked in. But yeah, no, I have no respect for stun players.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that first. Because my experience was it was the last round.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
totally different.
This is not worth it.
Yeah.
And like Sam and another guy in our group just had already saw him and said, no, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll just see what is going to happen. And within the first, 4 hands, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even think it made it that far.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, this is not worth my time. I'm not going to get anything out of this except a win, which I'll get 1 pack.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it. And looking and I had to make a decision. Am I going to sit here and get more mad if I lose?
Yeah.
Because I'm just sitting here playing against a stun player.
Yeah.
Or am I going to pack up and just go and feel better about doing that? Which
at least not have to deal with it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the worst part is that same guy was at the locals being like, I'm just here to waste everybody's time.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you here then?
Yeah.
Like, are you just here to be a troll? But then people get something out of that, I guess.
First week of the new time rules too.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was.
It
Yeah.
was the first week.
Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question, yeah. Some people just like when they think of Yu-Gi-Oh, that brings them joy. Not comboing, not playing control, but just like not allowing the guy across from them to do anything.
Yeah.
Which is a way to win games, not friends.
Yes. If you're there to win games, then
Yeah, sure.
you'll get some.
You'll get some.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, or you'll get blown the fuck out and you'll feel bad. So
Well, I don't think he showed up since.
no, he has not.
So
yeah.
it's like, I think he had
he got his 4 packs and took off.
a learning experience.
On to the next city, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but big news over the weekend.
Yes.
We had 2 YCSs. So we had Lille and we had Lima.
Yes.
Obviously in Lima, if you haven't heard by now, Triff won again.
That's
3
that's
already.
crazy.
You know, and there's one thing I got to mention first. YCS Vancouver, Triff wins.
Yes.
Board breakers are shit. If you're not playing 20 hand traps, you're behind.
Yeah.
Rah, rah, rah. A month of videos being like, if you play hand traps, you're behind.
Yeah.
This guy shows up with like 17 board breakers. What the fuck? What? Oh, if you paid for the masterclass, maybe you were privy to that information beforehand. But if you weren't, I'd be fucking pissed.
Maybe it's just all indoctrination.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, hey, everybody, play this.
You gotta
I'm gonna
keep the
show up with
content
opposite.
going. Yeah. Yeah, it could be, man. I often think that. And then I always come to the conclusion that like it's irrational to think that a content creator would be like, I'm going to throw my opponents off by preaching one thing and showing up with the other. But is it?
But maybe if you're that big of a YouTube personality, you're that well known in the community. Because no one, if you're in the YouTube community, or the Yu-Gi-Oh community, you know who Triff is.
Yeah,
there's no
that's
way
true.
you don't.
Yeah.
So and everyone's probably watching his videos, right? They want to see what he's on, what his opinion is.
Yeah.
And if they're like, okay, maybe if I can not do what he's doing, I'll be better. But he's doing his whole thing differently, right? So
Yeah. I guess it's just for like viewers and stuff, and even for us, what I've started to do recently is like I won't take advice from one singular person.
yeah,
I kind of try to pull it all from, doesn't matter what deck even that they're playing, but just I always watch like the tier lists,
yes,
and you'll see some crazy discrepancies in like one guy saying Ghost Mourner's cracked in this format, or Bell's super good in this format, and the other guy being like, yeah, this is keep it in the binder, you know, but they're both successful players
yes,
at the top level. So what's the truth then?
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in the middle. But if everyone thinks it's one way and then you show up with the card, people are not expecting it. It's the same thing as like Nib every format. People are like, Nib's not good this format.
And
So
then-
nobody plays under Nib. Everyone gets Nibbed. Like, so Nib's good. And then everyone starts playing under Nibs. And it's like, okay, well, Nib's not that good.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. These are just the ebbs and flows. Do your own research. I guess.
Just
But-
don't take the advice of one guy.
Yeah.
But, Stefan, you're a Yummy player.
Mm-hmm.
So what were your initial thoughts when you saw this 60 card list?
I love the chaos, but man, I feel like he's the only one that can make this work. I could not rock up to a game with this deck and have success.
That's an interesting point because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you guys started playing, right? Because you guys are like newer to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. You've only
Yeah.
been playing for like a year and a bit.
Yeah.
And my advice to you guys when you first started, because you guys would show up with these 55 card decks with no extra deck,
Yes.
and I was like, play 40.
Yes.
You can get those 15 cards in your extra deck. It's fine.
Yes.
Even the side maybe. But and then you guys push back on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, we were like showing up with 60 card pile decks
Yeah.
of like the archetype that we wanted to play. Like,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, oh yeah, this. I just want to fit as much of this archetype as I can.
Yes.
We were like, what do I put into my 60 card deck? We
Yeah.
were like swapping cards out. We didn't know what to put in. And and then you were like, oh yeah, just play 40.
Yeah.
You just need to play 40. You
Yes,
need your
consistency,
consistency.
yeah.
You need to see their cards. And I was like, okay. And yeah, I saw like, oh yeah, this is the way to play modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And then you see this, and it's like 60 card
Yeah.
deck, and you're like, Okay, so
Yeah.
It's vindicating. I was right this whole time.
I fucked you
my
guys over.
60 pile Jinzo deck will work again.
But it's funny too because I watched the video Triff made about this, like his deck profile, just post event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with all the theatrics he usually has. But
Yeah.
then it was the same kind of like, hot drops are bad, you know, fucking. But it was like, if you're not playing 60 cards, you're behind. Like, why would you play 60 if you could play 60? Like,
yeah.
Pokemon players are like laughing at us. I had a side mission into Pokemon. Like, I learned all this.
Sort of
you know,
impressions.
yeah. Ah, fucking. But it is an interesting thing. Like, I never, like, we've seen this before. 60 card decks are not like a new thing. He didn't revolutionize deck count. But what we've seen is like plant piles, which take like a very specific player to want to do and to execute it well, right? It's a lot of lines that are like very branching, which is on you know, is suiting for plants. But then we see like the branded piles and like a tier mill pile
Or
with
like Charles with the white.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles.
Yeah.
He's keeping it going.
But it is interesting because like the only time I've ever played 60 cards in a deck was when I was 12, maybe.
Yeah.
And even then, I thought 50 was the max, so probably not even. Or domain format. And domain format's cool because like you put a bunch of shit that could work.
Yeah.
But when you play 60 cards for consistency, to me, I'm like, how does that work? Like that just doesn't compute because I'm so for the last 15 years been like, oh, you have to play 40, otherwise you're sacrificing consistency. You can play 41 because the numbers don't bounce crazy, but as soon as you hit 42, you have that much less percentage of drawing the cards you want to see opening hand. So yeah, I don't know. After seeing this, it's success. Does it change how you guys view pile decks?
Only a little bit, because prior to this, you know, I play Yummy Ghoul, so there's very few actual sources for like bouncing other people's ideas off of.
Yeah, fair enough.
But there is a guy who went top 4 at regionals like 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
With Yummy Ghoul, and he's got a couple board breakers in there more than I do. Like I run Thrust because with Yummy Ghoul you kind of have to. Like it's just a free card basically.
Oh yeah, true.
But he had gone to 45 and he cut Ripple Bird out, cut Featherstorm out.
Yeah.
So you just use the what is it, the Engage engine with Sky Striker. You put those in, not complete, just for even more consistency, just like as an extra out. Because if you don't get into All Mirage, then you can just go into Kagari or something as like another backup.
Yeah.
So it's just more paths, and I'd like to see what he's doing now that Marshmallow's out, because he hasn't posted an updated list.
Okay.
But the idea is there. I think I'm getting to that point where I might cross the 40 threshold at this point.
I mean, for me, I've always skirted the line of 40 where I played like 41, and I've like justified it by being like, it's not that much of a difference with it. I don't think it changes much for me with like the decks I play, like Canine Vanquish Soul, because I want to see the names more than I want to see, and there's not really any other engines that bridge into that as well. Like, yeah, I can play the Rescue Ace. I really don't want to play the Rescue Ace engine. I really don't.
Yeah.
I've avoided it. I think I tried it one time here and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah.
I never want to see this. And I think especially with decks like that, it works because a lot of them are not like that deck loses to Droll huge because you're doing a lot of adding, right? So if you're not seeing anything that in your hand that you can play through Droll with that, you're going to have a tougher time, right? If you don't see the Mitsurugi rituals, right? You have no way of getting it other than tributing the one card, the monster. I can't remember the red monster Mitsurugi card that you tribute.
Saji.
Saji, okay. Yeah. It searches the ritual card. But like, again, if you've gotten Droll before that with something else, like, like it's just, I think the 60 card is, you have to make sure every single card in that deck is playable at like any time.
And that was his thing too, is okay, so you have like the 3 pre-preps, you have 3 preps.
Yes.
You have 3 Cupsy, 3 Marshmallow, and then 1 of each Cookie and Lollipo. Then you have Diviner. You have the Miracle Raven. You have 3 Habakiri. The bricks he plays, there's probably about, if I remember correctly, like 5 bricks. Every other card is a 1-card starter. With the exception of like Ash Blossom, because he's not playing Almirage in his list, I mean, it could be a starter in that you make Almirage, and then if you have something in hand, you could go that way. Obedient Schooled, 3 Engage, Hornet Drones, blah, 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 right? And then a bunch of breakers. So yeah, you could draw a hand that's like 3 Thrust, 1 Droplet, 1 Chalice, and you lose. But maybe you don't. Maybe you make it to the next turn and you draw one of your 1-card starters. I guess if you're looking at a 60-card deck through the lens of I can play more 1-card starters in it, then it kind of makes sense. For me, I still there's a mental blockage there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, but you could do that with 40, just cut all this fucking excess. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
But it's very impressive. Like, not just that he won. It would have been impressive enough if he won 1 YCS with this list.
Yeah.
The guys won last year, playing, was it Fiendsmith Ryziel, I think, or Mitsurugi Ryziel?
He was playing Ryziel.
Or was it the Fiendsmith control hand trap thing?
No, it
definitely
was a Ryziel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won last year. He repeats it this year to start off the year at YCS Vancouver, playing Yummy. And now, after touting Yummy best deck for however long,
yeah,
then it'd still play Yummy, but in a way that no one could have anticipated. Yummy fucking Mitsurugi, that was not on the radar. Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like matching up into this deck, having no Miracle Raven. What?
Well, he's not. You said he's not playing much hand traps in there. I haven't looked at the.
There's
list.
3. There's Ash Blossom.
3 Ash. That's it.
That's it. Because his only fear is Fuelos.
Oh, okay. So he's playing the Ash. Okay. See, it's almost weirdly vindicating because it makes it so that it's like you don't need to play hand traps to win. You don't
just 17 board breakers.
Somewhere someone is yelling and screaming. I was right.
Yeah. Will listening to this podcast.
But it just is it's really much feels like my deck. I'm gonna make a big board.
Yeah.
Beat my board, or I'm gonna try. You make a big board. I'm going to try and break your board.
Yes.
Rather than I'm going to try and interrupt you enough times where you don't make a big board.
Yeah.
But it's just a different type of different kind of game.
It's a different type of interaction, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still interaction. If you draw 3 breakers, it's the same as, I guess you could say it's the same as drawing 3 hand traps.
Yeah.
I think, and I've found in this, especially this last couple formats, that not even just with Azuna, but hand traps are volatile to me. That's how I see it now. Is I could open 3 hand traps.
Yeah.
And that 3 hand traps should be enough to put you on nothing or a half board, right? Mm-hmm. But then I'm relying on the 2 cards that I did draw to be enough. And if you've set up a half board that can play through my 2 cards, or I guess 3 with my 6th card draw, am I actually doing myself any favors by playing hand traps opposed to breakers?
Yeah.
Volatility in that Dice Smasher was a card last format.
Yep.
So if you did hand trap a K9 Vanquish Soul player, you were giving up your turn, first turn.
If you don't have a follow-up.
Yes. And still in the same way that K9 decks are still very much in the meta, very much an engine you can put in a lot of different decks, and people are experimenting with it now. So I know is it worth using my Ash Blossom here, which could stop his whole combo, or waiting till I know it's a specific choke point. But if he's been holding Azuna in his hand the whole time, then I'm cooked. So I guess this deck especially is making me reconsider what I put value in terms of an interaction. Because is it better to just draw Dark Ruler as your 6th card and be okay, cool. Or just go engine to engine, right? Yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts right now? Hand traps versus breakers.
I think for me, I've played 2 decks that are both heavy on hand traps and heavy on breakers. I used to play Tenpai, which was a heavy on breaker deck. I'm I'm going to play 3 Raigekis, 3 Dark Holes, and 2 Lightning Storm. I'm going to go second, right? And I think for me that was a lot of fun to just destroy your board, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna and then hopefully
it's like playing with when you play Halo and you're playing rocket launchers only.
Yes.
That's how that feels.
It does feel like that. You're okay, I like your board. It's funny if I can just hit you with Here's a dark hole. Negate it. Okay, here's a Raigeki. Like it's just like it's. I think it's an interesting way to play the game. I don't know if it's the best way to play.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the healthiest way for the game.
Yeah,
but I play Gem Knight, so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, and like the deck I'm playing right now has Azuna, obviously, but otherwise I only have the Fulos and Ash as my hand traps. So I'm playing kind of a lower-ish hand trap, but that's because I need all my other stuff to in my deck. But like I have 2 board breakers in there that have come up more often than I thought they would with the kaijus.
Fuck off.
And it's the funniest thing ever because it's just I'm just gonna use a kaiju and I kind of can break your board.
Yeah,
it's really good against Yummy and that you can just kaiju the Snatchy. I don't know if it's good against Draco Tail, but it worked a lot. Like,
yeah, it sure did.
And I mean, like it's just a fun little interaction because you just can't really respond to it. Like you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna use your Kai, summon it.
Yeah.
And I think that type of board breaking is really cool. I like that little interaction. But I do think that like having where it's just like Tenpai where you're like throwing every board breaker you can out, I think that is bad for the game. I think that it's just like because then you need to essentially play as many spell negates as you can to try and save your board, right? Yeah,
I think with Tenpai especially, like I experienced this a bit in playing like Gem Knight OTK.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, ask anyone, feels more fair than Tenpai did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because, like, Tenpai, you also get Sangan summoning, and it's just, even if you're playing 20 hand traps in your deck, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
So, that felt bad.
Yeah.
But I think I enjoyed when I played Gem Knight, the puzzle that boards became.
Yes.
Where, when you're playing hand traps, you're more so stopping the mechanism. Like, if I take out this part, the whole thing will fall, right? Or it'll be on such, instability that I can push through and break it.
Yeah.
But when you're playing strictly board breakers, it's like, okay, you've built your board. How do I sequence what I have access to in order to bait out all of your interruptions and then, summon my 1-card starter? Which is the same as Tenpai, but it's less less toxic. Yeah, it feels less toxic.
It's not like I'm gonna blow up your board and then I'm gonna make a card that can't interact with. You can't because I have this protecting it.
Exactly.
And it's just way less like fair.
Yeah. Thoughts on hand traps versus breakers?
I think for me it changes the side deck a lot more. Just because I think my deck kind of has a bit of a balance. I probably have more hand traps than board breakers, but I do run more breakers than most other decks do this format. But I do think that I will be changing my side deck a lot, just also because of you telling me about the kaiju stuff, and I've wanted to just because Luna Light is a factor at our locals and stuff. So if I do run into that, I do want to have a solution to that problem. And right now I just don't. If Lager Dancer hits the field, I'm toast. Basically.
Yes, and then that Luna Light is also like, just in that Tenpai and Gem Knight conversation, right, where board breakers don't do shit. So. You need hand traps, but when you're in a format, I like a natural triangle format where like my deck doesn't say deck. If I'm deck A, it doesn't say deck B can't interact with me, I win. And then deck B says deck C can't interact with me, I win.
Yeah.
That feels bad to me. Yeah. And Luna Light is kind of throwing a wrench in what I consider to be like a very healthy format right now. Because there's that conversation, right? If it's a board breaker format and then there's a deck like Luna Light, that feels bad because it doesn't matter what you have, you just lose when they make their towers. But if you're playing a bunch of hand traps, you can stop Luna Light to the point where they're not able to get that far.
Yeah.
A well-timed DD Crow stops everything. Like, a well-timed Imperm or Valor or even Lancia stops their entire play, right?
Yeah.
I think for myself, it's been like one of the trickier decks to learn the interaction points because they're not very straightforward. Some of those cards are old and they don't say once per turn. So you're like, oh, what? You're doing Kaleido Chick again? And now you're banishing everything from the grave. It feels like weird in that like you kind of want to floodgate them.
Yep.
With Droll or like Lancia, but like Lancia's not really worth playing in the side right now.
No.
So then you have to play a bunch of hand traps because that deck is a threat. But if that deck wasn't a threat, then maybe we do see a shift to a board breaker format, given the results of what just happened post banless, post dude, everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kaijus, I love.
They're so fun.
Like, I remember when Kaijus came out and it was like, this feels broken.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything about it. And as time has progressed, like, as I left the game and came back at like different times, it was always interesting to see like when Kaijus became relevant again. In some decks, they're like, you have to play Kaijus if you're playing Mechanico because it's like free real estate.
Yes.
Summon it, bounce it, summon it, bounce it, summon it, attack for game. You know?
There's a relinquished staple.
Exactly. And now we see that kind of in like Lava Golem. There's a solid card to side in against Lunalight.
Yeah.
But kind of any deck that's going to end on 2 bodies, just say, no thanks. I don't want to deal with those 2.
If you're willing to give up a normal summon. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I like when it's not clear whether it's better to play hand traps or board breakers because it depends on your deck. It depends on your build, all of that stuff. I don't like when it's like one or the other. Mm-hmm. And I think Lunalight's the only deck that like makes that choice worse.
Well, I think it goes into card design too, where like I really like how your deck, your traps are both ashable.
Yes.
Where it's like, so it makes me want to save it for my turn to be more defensive. Rather than I'm going to like interrupt your turn, I want to prevent you from interacting with me.
Yeah.
So like, I really like when I can use that, when I have the card, use it against room. Because if I, like when I'm playing Stefan, if I don't use it against room, I'm done. My game is over.
Yeah.
And like with using it against like Sting, like I love being able to do that because it's just like a fun little like, oh, by the way, this card says draw, I'm gonna ash it because
and then it requires more thinking too because like, okay, if they activate if they've set 2 Draco Tail traps, they activate the first one, you have to make a decision. Do I stop this one because I need it to go through, or do I wait for their second trap to activate? I bait out their second trap. Stop that one. Now they can't recur them if they're playing 2, I guess. But if they're playing 3, then it's a separate story. But that same principle, right? If I know they're going to get to 2 traps, do I save my Ash or my Bell for my turn when they're going to activate those? Which, like you said, Dan, I think that's just better card design than we're used to.
Yeah, and I think when you have like where you're forced to interact with them on their turn, it makes hand traps worse when they aren't successful.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, I need to. If they use a card that you're like, I need to ash this card.
Yeah.
But then they have follow up.
Called by.
Then you're like, okay, well then it wasn't worth that. I wish I could have saved it on my turn if they had something.
Yeah.
Where it makes it more rewarding for me to use a hand trap on my turn because it's protecting my play rather than stopping yours. I'm trying to protect my
insulation.
play.
Yeah.
I think it was Triff that said in one of his videos back when he was still on hand traps was. Only hit the card that kills you, and that's like exactly the mentality. It's like room kills you, Sting will kill me sometimes. Just hit that card and we can wait out the other stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
I would like to see like, it's funny too, specifically you, like you've always had this philosophy that, or I guess feeling is more a better word.
Yes,
you don't like being interacted with on your turn.
Yeah. I think it's.
Vanquish Soul player over here.
Yeah, that's rich.
It is rich.
Sit down.
For me. I think I've evolved.
Yeah.
I think, for a while it was just like, I think it was when I was playing like weaker decks, especially, that were very susceptible to hand traps.
Yes.
It was like, because I think I've told Stefan many times about this, like, the unfortunate part of some of the decks I've played is they have very clear stopping points.
Yes.
Like Ryziel, you hit the duo drive most often. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Especially at the very beginning when it was like first coming out. You hit the dual drive, that's it. Right? Vanquish Soul. Oftentimes if you hit the Raisin, that's it. Or hit like some kind of interaction. Like, I'm thinking before K9, right? Like I think K9 added that like the extension beyond that.
Yes, definitely.
But I think that was my thing was like, okay, most often something's gonna get hit where I cannot play the game anymore. And it stops a lot. Like I remember when I played Dogmatica for a while. Like, If like Ecclesia got hit, I'd be like, okay, that's it, my turn now. I'm gonna pass. Like, and then it just doesn't feel as good, right? Because it's just like then you're losing to one hand trap.
Yes.
Whereas then you're watching other people play, and you're like, oh, they can just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like the peak of Fiendsmith, where it was like you'd hit their main engine, and then be like, oh, I'm just gonna go Fiendsmith.
Oh yeah, link these 2 bodies at the moon.
Oh my god, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like. And it was just, yeah, I think I really now enjoy playing more hand traps defensively. I've really enjoyed that part of it, like just being able to say, I'm going to save this rather than use it. I'll let you make your whole thing. That's fine. But I can play through a lot of your stuff if I have this one hand trap that I can use to stop your trap.
It's an interesting thing about play style too, right? Because there are players, like we talked about, like stun players earlier. Mm-hmm. Like certain players get different things out of the game, right?
Yeah.
But you being a player that likes to insulate your combo. So you'd rather save a hand trap defensively instead of being aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Which I think is like smart in a lot of situations, but it's catered to like how you want to experience the game.
Yeah.
Whereas some people live to disrupt.
Yes, I think I'm very much a person who's like, I want to just get my big boss monster.
Yeah.
I just want to if I do
shiny
that,
guy.
Yeah, I want to get my nice QCR Caesar Valius on the field. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I think that's because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm fine if I don't get that part of my engine out. I'm just gonna try and have enough to disrupt you.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think that's very much been my play where I'm like, same with Dogmatica. I want to get Albazoa out on the field.
Yeah. Look, it's so cool.
Even if it does nothing against the, like when you were playing Fluanderis at that time, when I was playing Dogmatica.
Oh, right.
And I was like, that does nothing against him because his extra deck
Say goodbye to your extra deck. Okay.
But it was still really satisfying for me to get that out.
Yeah.
Even then I lose, I'm like, okay, that's fine. You did the thing.
Yeah.
But I at least put up a fight as much as I could with my 4K my 4K Albazoa.
Yeah. Your normal monster on board. But yeah, no, that's interesting. Like, I guess like because I mainly look at 3 kind of play types, right? Mm-hmm. Like control, like mid-range control, combo, and then like stun.
Yeah.
And I think like what you're describing is kind of like combo, but and less so control. Like you'd rather just like it's kind of like playing Malice with Called by the Grave and Crossout Designator.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, I play through 3 hand traps anyways. If you get the 4th that's going to kill me, I'm just going to stop it.
Yeah.
Which feels bad for the guy who's trying to disrupt, who's playing mid-range combo and, playing a bunch of hand traps in his deck. But for me, I just want to insulate this combo because, like, thinking of anything else while trying to run these lines is, like, out of the question.
Yeah.
But I guess it just depends on the deck you're playing and the play style you, like, want to play. I know for, like, myself, playing Malice was kind of like, not my usual, like it's not a deck I would have normally picked up because I'm not a combo player.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to break the game with a crazy combo and end on a crazy board. I'm kind of like you where I want to do the thing my archetype does.
Yeah.
And then like some cool tech cards I thought of, which is why Dracotel is way more my speed because it's like, I'm going to set my traps, I'm going to set my spells, I'm going to have my guy. He's a normal monster now. And I could pop some of your cards and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as like oppressive. Like,
yeah,
it's not like, and I mean like I think I noticed it too. Like when you were playing Malice, you had a different energy. You're just like you look like you're like I'm just playing it,
changed,
but I'm not having I'm having fun, but I'm not having fun.
Yeah,
at the same
I'm
time.
Winning, but
at what cost?
I'm stressed. Yeah, I'm fucking stressed out. Yeah.
Just on that same thought about the combos and stuff, I'm also very much not a combo player. Like none of the decks that I've played have been combo decks. I guess maybe RDA just a little bit because I have to focus.
It still says like mid range though. Yeah.
But that's my least favorite part about Yummy is the combo to get to Herald of the Arclight.
Oh, okay.
I hate that shit.
Starham, blah blah blah. Yeah.
No, I don't even do Starham, but just like Marcher, just having to get to that process, and I've used so many resources to get to it. And obviously, it's very good against Dracotail, but like. I just want to play a funny control deck.
Yeah. Like, and what's funny? Will comes up a lot on this podcast. We should have him on that sometime.
We should.
But, I told him about Genesis recently, and he was like, point total, cool. I was like,
I feel like that'd be right up his alley.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But he said one thing to me, and this became like a big kind of blowout in our group chat. But it was like, hey, man, I know, like, you're pretty opposed to, like, modern meta Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. Why don't you pick up the Blue Eye Structure deck and see how that feels? Because it's like a low ceiling, mid-range control deck.
Yeah.
And you get to summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Like, that is so up your alley.
Yeah.
And then he bought the cards, tested it a bit, and was like, it's too much combo for me. Blue Eyes combo? What do you fucking summon 2 tutors? Like, make a guy pass? Set a bunch of shit? Like,
I think that's just someone who, it's just like the same, like, I think me and Stefan were the same way. Like, we were very much like, I just want to get out my Jinzo.
Yeah.
My very mid-ranged monster that's very bad, has very little attack, but hey, your traps are done now.
Yeah.
And just, I want to get it out.
Synchro monster.
But I think it's just like, I mean, like, Blue Eyes is such a great way to, like, introduce modern format to people. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Because it just has that, like, easy pickup, and, like, there's cards in there that have some interaction. Like, it's the one that I tell students that I teach with, that I'm like, this is a great deck. If you're very want to buy cards, this is the one I recommend for you.
Yeah.
And it's the first one I teach some of the students with.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a straightforward deck.
Yeah.
You've got, this is your interaction. This is what you can do. And let's learn it. And that's the easiest one to pick up. So.
Yeah. And it's got a power level that's like relative to the learning curve.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you put time into that deck, you'll have success with it.
Oh yeah.
There's probably like a ceiling there, right? That is a little lower than some of the like newer decks. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're like willing to learn what that ceiling is and experiment with it, you'll be fine. We talked about this on like the first episode of this podcast when the guy threw it in the garbage. But it's a really good point. I think it's just interesting that like we can develop play styles to somebody out there. Blue Eyes is too combo heavy, right? Imagine that guy having to face Malice, right? Like,
or seeing a Malice player, you'd just be like, "What are you? Oh, you're going. Oh, you're still gonna go. Okay. Oh, you're okay. That's fine."
Yeah, I've hand trapped you. Well, not in Will's case, he wasn't playing hand traps, but yeah. I think obviously, like, I find it really interesting with Yu-Gi-Oh specifically how different people approach the game, because you get the whole gambit of like optimization and like spreadsheets and all that kind of jazz. You know, we talk about Trift too and all the masterclass and all that stuff. There's guys at our locals who get professional coaching in Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's like, okay, man, very good player though, so it must be working. But it's like, come on. But hey, if you're making money on selling spreadsheets, more power to you. Yeah. But and if you're learning from them too, if you buy them, like, more power to you too. Like, but I guess like you had an interaction recently, maybe a week ago at locals, where you dealt with a player who, well, it's a bit of an abrupt cut, but I fucked up and ran out of disk space. But we had a lot of good chats.
Yes.
That you'll never be privy to until the next recording of the podcast, where we'll try to touch on those same subjects again.
Yes.
And damn, Dan had such a good outro. It's such
just
a
means
shame.
I'm a natural podcast.
Exactly, dude. But we will catch you all next time. Make sure you like the video. We promise next time I'll clear some room on the hard drive, and we'll be back. Dan, Stefan, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Like the video, subscribe, and check out the games we'll be posting soon. Until next time.
All right.